Hi, this is Stephanie Freudenheim. This is my desktop. Very messy, excuse me, but I use a lot of folders to demonstrate. Today I want to go over zoom options included in the accessibility setting. What you'll see is my cursor is moving to the top menu bar, and up here I have an icon with a circle with a little person in it. That is the shortcut to get to accessibility preferences. And when I open my window, you'll see down here at the bottom left corner, this is checked off, show accessibility status in the menu bar. If that were unchecked, I would not have that little shortcut in the top. It's gone now. But now I click it and it's up here. Okay, so that's handy to put that up here that you can actually quickly get into the preferences. Within our accessibility preferences for seeing, we have three things to look at. We can change the display, we can set the zoom preferences, or we can talk about voiceover. We're going to talk about zoom today. The default for zoom is down here. It says zoom style full screen. What I think is more useful is to use the other setting, which is picture-in-picture. And when you use picture-in-picture, you can see to the right a magnification window opened up. And wherever my cursor goes, like right now it's on this word keyboard focus, it is magnified over there on the right in the window. And what we can do, for some reason I know that smooth images should also be selected. I'm not really sure at this moment what that setting is for. But what we can do is we can click on more options and we can adjust the size and location of this window. So if we'll see how I've got the hand now. When I have the hand, I can move it. So I can move it up to the top of the screen or to the left over here. You know, wherever it is that you want the person using it to have the best viewing. So somebody who has tunnel vision, centrally located, that might be the best placement. Somebody who's got scotomas and then they have a really good field in the lower right, maybe this is the best position for this magnification window. So I'm going to keep it there. But you can also change the size of this if you want it bigger. See? And what it's going to do, like I have my cursor on this CVI folder, you can see the CVI folder much bigger in the magnification window. So that's the stationary setting. And if you notice, I've got my magnification set on 3, but we could move it up bigger to 4, 5, 6. I like it at 3, so I'm going to keep it at 3. Now, let's see what it looks like when we invert the colors. Oh, look, we have a black background with some brown fonts, brown colors for the images. So that might be useful for some people who have some low vision issues. I'm going to put it back to the default. Okay, let's take a look at this other window position setting. So one more thing before I move on. The usefulness of this magnification might be that the person starts at the top left of their screen and they want to explore the files on their desktop. So they're getting a close look at the file. So that top file on the left is what was travel like in the 1800s. I move to the right. Oh, this is my free slideshop file. I move to the right again. Oh, here's my logo file. So it might be a good way for a person to find something easily on the desktop. Now let's change the window position setting to tiled along the edge. And what happens is a big window opens on the left that is going to, let me close this up for a minute, done, mirror what's on the right here. And so I'm zooming in on a Zoom accessibility JPEG picture here, and you can see it in large font label on the left side. So it does a similar function to the left rectangle, to the small stationary rectangle, except that we have a bigger window of stuff to look at over there. And I like see how my cursor is up at the top, where those labels, Finder, File, Edit, View, I could go over here and see my Dropbox, my Snagit recording. See how when I float over, where was it? Is it Dropbox? See, that font is pretty small, but when I look at it on the left side, it's much easier to see what you are choosing before you select it. Okay, now I'm going to go back and show you that third option we discussed. And hitting, just so you know, hitting escape doesn't get rid of that. I feel like to get out of this magnification stuff, there was probably a shortcut which I haven't figured out yet, but I go back into my accessibility preferences, and if you went back to full screen, excuse me, it takes you back to the normal screen, but I'll have to look into what the shortcut might be for that. So let's look at the third option, okay, which is clicking more options here. Nope. You know why I didn't get the same menu? Because I have Zoom style set at full screen. When I have Zoom style set at full screen, I get these choices. That's different from what we were looking at earlier, okay? We're looking at picture-in-picture. So when I click the More Options button, right now we have the tiled along the edge set, which is the left side magnification window. I wanted to show you the third choice, which is follow the mouse cursor, which means this box is going to move around, which is probably my favorite, because the person can move the box up and read the top menu bar. They can, you know, read all their icons on the screen. They can drag it down here to look at their applications, so it makes it easier to open up Calendar. So I feel like that follow the mouse cursor is a very useful magnification. And what I also like is if we set this, if we check this off, speak items under the mouse after delay, and it could be after a short delay or a long
accessibility.
delay, the voice comes
Desktop.
on. So
Dynamic Workforce Solutions.
So once you move your arrow cursor and the magnification window on top of something and you hold it steady for a minute, it's going to read what it
Easy
says.
photo print.
Which is nice because it's giving you the large print and then it's giving you also the auditory feedback. So I think all of these magnification tools are very useful, but I particularly like this one. That's the end of this
Desktop.
tutorial.
Snagit Helper. Snagit